Hey everybody, it's Dr. Warren Kalkstein here at Kalkstein Chiropractic. Welcome to our video series, the top 20 most common injuries and complaints with athletes. Again, special thanks to Special Olympics Maryland for the support of this video series. I hope these videos are serving your athletes well, and I hope you're enjoying them. So today's episode 6, we're going to be talking about elbow pain. So usually with elbow pain, when it comes to an athlete, you might hear the term golfer's elbow or tennis elbow. You might hear the term medial epicondylitis or lateral epicondylitis. Either way, there's an abnormal stress to the outside or the inside of the elbow, resulting in some elbow pain. Okay, so those two sports are identified as common areas where athletes can get elbow pain, and we see it a lot in the office. When I see it, right, there's a couple areas that I want to identify and treat. One is directly to these tissues that can be inflamed or irritated. So if you're experiencing discomfort in the elbow, something that you can do at home is take a paper cup, fill it with water, put it in the freezer, rip off the top half portion of that cup, and rub that area that's irritated, especially after an event, to calm down some of that pain, okay? So that's a nice way to relieve some tension and pain in the elbow initially with these type of problems. Next, we want to say, okay, what other ways can we do, what other things can I do to that tissue to help calm down some of that discomfort? So we talk about that pyramid of treating an injury. First, getting it to calm down from an inflammation standpoint, getting good sleep, eating really well, good hydration, and then the right movement at the right time. And so with good mobility to that tissue, you can do what's called the prayer and the reverse prayer stretch. So if I want to come in my hands together, I bring my palms together like so, I drive them down, and my elbows go up, and I get a good stretch to my wrist flexors, which go more towards the medial side of the elbow. And then I can reverse it, coming up and holding for about 5 to 10 seconds, just getting a good stretch to those muscles. All right, that's a good one. I like to step it up a little bit, where I pull my fingers back like so, holding for 5 to 10 seconds, and reversing. Let's just call that the wrist flexor extensor stretch, okay? Again, 5 to 10 seconds, and reverse it, okay? Do that on each arm, back and forth, 3 to 4 times. Again, you kind of get my sentiment from previous episodes. You got to learn about your body as you're doing these stretches. I'm giving you general guidelines to help getting you more better movement to that tissue, but these are some things that you can help that can help with some of those pains and complaints from generally speaking. Sorry, I just got distracted, to be honest with you. A pizza came behind our film guy, and I got hungry. So,
that's all yours.
Thanks, Dr. Dalton. Next thing I want to talk about is, why does that occur in the first place? Why is this abnormal stress to the elbow? Sometimes it's a problem with good shoulder strength, okay? Either way, it's really healthy if you're an overhead athlete or if you're a golfer or a tennis player to use that band that we talked about in episode 1 to help strengthen the shoulder. So an easy way you could do that is do banded pull aparts, thumbs face together, make a big T, come back in. Diagonal, come back in, and diagonal, come back in. Now, when I go and I do that on a regular basis and my arms are a little stronger, doing 10 in each direction, 3 sets of 10, depending on where you are from a strength standpoint, right? Now when I go to play tennis and I go to reach out for that ball that's far away from me, I'm not focusing so much on my wrist and my elbow, but it's my whole shoulder as a unit that's getting good force behind that ball, right? Or whether it's you're an overhead athlete, you're throwing the ball. Everything is well supported so that that elbow doesn't become exacerbated because I'm trying to use my wrist to do all the work when it comes to that activity, okay? So mobility, some strength there, right? And stability for the shoulder. And then for the wrist, there's some things that you can do to help strengthen it as well. Excuse me, the forearm, there's some things you can do to help strengthen it as well, okay? So if you have a weight at home, that's the most beneficial thing to have in order to do some wrist flexion and extension exercises. So let me grab a weight over here and show you how to do that. So having your arm with good support here, you can flex the wrist up and slowly lower down. You'll feel a pull, but I want that pull to you to have good control of that pull as you go down. You shouldn't just drop it. Again, flex up and slowly control coming down. Good. And you can reverse that. Extending back and slowly controlling down. Extend back. Slowly control coming down. Okay? Those are some simple ways that you can help strengthen around a elbow complaint to decrease elbow pain during whatever activity or athletic event that you're playing in. Okay? So you got the why do people get elbow pain? Kind of in the beginning, where that pain usually occurs on the medial or the lateral side. Lateral tennis, medial golf. Right? You got some ways of loosening up the tissues with some stretches, right? And then you got some strengthening exercises. I want to give you a little bit of a tidbit that I forgot to mention earlier, is that you can roll out the forearm muscles pretty easily. You just got to get on your hands and knees, take your forearm down, and just spend some time rolling out those muscles like so. So I can get to the outer edge of my radius, which is on my thumb side, and rolling out those muscles this way. I can get towards the ulna side, getting some of the muscles that are more on the inside of my arm that help extend my wrist. And then I can flip it over, my hand over that is, and I can roll out the front muscles where I'm getting some release of the tension in my forearm. You can also spend some time working on the tricep and the bicep, but I don't tend to find those tissues to be tight too often, so I don't spend a lot of time working on that area. I would focus more on rolling out the forearm, okay? So those are my best tips for you if you're having some elbow discomfort. Remember that icing modality, that where you fill up the paper cup full of ice, you rip off the top half so that you can hold on to the paper portion on the bottom and rub it over that spot that's sore. Okay, that's in the initial period. And then some stretches and strength training for the elbow. So if you have any questions or comments about elbow pain, some of the stretches or exercises that I showed you, or if you just have some questions coming my way about anything, shoot them below. Happy to help answer them, and I appreciate your support. Again, special thanks to Special Olympics Maryland for helping release some of these videos, and I hope that the athletes for the Special Olympics are enjoying them. Thanks again. Talk soon.